Welcome to the Ultimate Entertainment Solutions Show, presented by Ultimate Entertainment Solutions. The show where we dive deep into popular topics, equipment, and emerging technologies and trends. Hope you're ready. DJ Spin It.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the Ultimate Entertainment Solutions Show. And before we get into it, I would like to welcome our guest, Mario Hardy. This gentleman, I met this gentleman. Well, actually, I didn't meet this gentleman until this year. But I started following this gentleman, and I don't know if he knows it, but I started following this gentleman back in, I want to say it was 2015, 16 on LinkedIn. I started my LinkedIn profile, and he came up. And I saw his company and his motto, and I thought it was very interesting. And so I started following him and just kind of, spied on him, if it's a good word to say, because I was interested in his motto. And I saw a lot of his awards that he was, had and everything he was accomplishing. And I was kind of intrigued by it. And I just kind of wanted to see what he was doing. So if you guys followed my first podcast, my introduction, I was open about being in the military. So I deployed, came back, and, continued to just kind of follow him and see what he was doing. I reached out to him and we met. And since then, I consider him a mentor to me. He's taken me under his wing and he's taught me so much. And I'm very grateful for the friendship and the mentorship that he has shown me. And without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mario Hardy. So with that, I'm going to let him introduce himself, kind of tell us a little bit about him, how he got into DJing, and then, we'll get into our topic today. So, Mario, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello. Thanks, Chris. Hello, everyone. My name is Mario Hardy, a.k.a. DJ Ragtop. Pretty much I'm the owner and sole DJ for, I should say, one-man army of DC2DW, DJ Entertainment. Been in business now, coming up on, officially it'll be 10 years come February of 2023. I'm a full-time DJ. I've been doing it ever since I retired from the military. So I did my 21 years in the military and ran after I retired. So pretty much I've been DJing ever since I was 16. I did it part-time while I was in the military. And so now here I am doing it full-time, living the dream. One of the biggest things I love about DJing is just the challenges and the changes that come with it. So I'm really looking forward to this podcast because I love sharing information and actually like helping people out on how to see, number one, save money running your business, and number two, showing you different methods and ways on how you can make things happen for your company.
Awesome. So, give our guests a little bit. What is it that you do? Like, what is it that you specialize in?
Well, I specialize. I'm very unique. I'm real big on making things unique compared to others. I'm a video DJ, and as a video DJ, I incorporated the use of video cameras into my DJ session, or when I'm doing my entertainment. And it makes me a little bit different because I use video, actual live feed, and I also use actual music videos. So as a video DJ, it makes it a little bit more unique, and it also brings another effect to the event, to where now you have, not only do you hear it, but you actually have a visual as well.
Right. And do you see that a big market for that in this area?
Well, it's something that's different, and a lot of people love things that are different. It makes me it makes it easier for me because there's not too many that do what I do.
Right.
Being unique sometimes has its privileges. It also has its downfalls at the same time because it's harder to find all the right equipment to do what you do.
Right. Exactly. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our topic today. We're going to be talking about social media. I know one of the biggest things that I reached out to you about is social media. And I know you get on to me about it a lot, about social media. And I told you, I know I got to start posting pictures and I think one of the main questions that I had for you at the time was, how do you go about posting pictures in your content? So I think, one of the first questions that I get a lot of DJs that ask and ask me, and, kind of when I asked you is, so how do you really go about marketing and branding yourself when you go into this business?
The biggest thing is to me, is tell the truth, show the truth, reflect the truth, and then at the same time, you're taking care of your customers. You're also marketing, and so that's something that I've done from the very beginning, was highlight the things that I do for my customers by putting them first and up front. It makes it easier for me to brand my company because my focus is taking care of the customer. So what my method of marketing is the pictures that I take as a DJ, which is very unique. A lot of DJs don't take a lot of pictures, but like with me, I take quite a few pictures throughout. That's also part of my package. Is I like to call the name of the package is called Capture the Moments. And as a DJ, we have the proper stand to be able to set up either an iPad or GoPro or a Zoom camera that allows us to capture what's going on, what's taking place. And so what I do is I capture those moments and then I give it to the customers. Then when some customers, I said, do you want a social media package? And then when they say yes, then it makes it easy for me to now highlight what I've done for them. And so that's just one method of actually highlighting what you do, is taking care of the customer, showing what you've done for your customer.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, do you see a lot of benefit in that? Like recurring customers, do they?
Oh, definitely. Yes. Because the thing is that what happens is, as you're taking pictures of the guests having a good time. You're highlighting the video clips. So then what they do is they actually, they like those pictures. Then they share. Key thing is you're putting together a pathway for customers to find you easier on social media. So for example, let's say on Facebook, every time someone likes that picture or shares that picture, all you're doing is making it easier for people to find you.
Correct. And I'm glad you bring up Facebook, and we'll kind of get into those different platforms here in a little bit. So do you necessarily find the best picture, or do you just kind of, go through and every picture that you take of the event, do you just kind of put those out there? How do you go about the pictures that you select for the packages?
By using iPads. iPads have a way of capturing pictures and allowing you to edit them on the spot. So by the time I get done with the event, the pictures are already good quality pictures. So all I have to do is upload them. iPad has a way of, it's going to focus. It's going to take the best picture. It's automatically designed to take better pictures than if you're using an actual camera or your cell phone. Because cell phones also, don't get me wrong, cell phones also can, like the Samsung and the iPhones, can take good pictures as well. But the iPad has a better focusing mechanism built into it to where it's going to adjust it for the best quality of the picture. And so what I'd also use is I use an iPad Pro, which is, I think, out of all, like, besides the new iPhones, takes the best quality pictures. And they look professional. They're not as good as a professional, but they're good quality for marketing.
Right. Yeah, because I know I went out and purchased the Canon the G7 Mark II, and I have to go in and edit them after each event, of course, to my liking, because I take them in RAW, and so after each event I have to go out and edit them, and of course I try to do the recording. So I'll take a recording, and then in that recording I will stop a frame, and then if it's a nice frame, I stop that frame, and then of course I use that frame as a picture as well. So but like you said, it's just a little bit more time consuming because I have to now on the back end go in and edit that picture to what I feel is presentable. And then sometimes it's out of focus, so I lose that picture. I got to delete it, or somebody's walking up, so I don't want that where it's somebody's arm or something and they're walking up, so I have to get rid of that. So it is kind of time consuming. So I do like the fact that, you know, you said that the iPad Pro, it already kind of, edit those for you. So that's kind of cool.
Because what it does is that when it actually has its own little target. Like when you use a regular camera, a digital camera, a DSLR, or whatever camera you use, that's when I first started off. That's what I was using, and
Right.
I learned that because I was like trying to DJ and get pictures on the move, that the pictures
Right.
are not coming out good. But with an iPad, with the iPad, for example, I'm able to take it and mount it, and this is the iPad Pro that I use. And what it is, I have a magnetic thing to where I'm able to just stick it right in front of me. And as I see a good moment to take a picture, I just click the screen and it takes the picture. So where with the other camera, you got to actually have both hands available to do it. But with the iPad, with any iPad really, with most of your iPads now, as long as you have it properly mounted onto your DJ stand right there in front, you just click and you take your picture. Same thing with the video cameras. Is I have 3 video cameras that are connected to my DJ station. So all 3 are recording. So out of those 3, they're going to capture some good stuff. So all I do is go through and pick and choose which ones are the best ones to use.
So this basically eliminates you needing an assistant in a sort of sense, right?
Correct. It keeps it to where, and that's one of the things you'll learn. One of the things about me is I kind of set things up to where I'm a standalone person. Because when it comes to operation, anytime you have to expand out to personnel, to people, it makes it a little bit difficult. With iPads, which I call them my employees in a sense, it allows you to take pictures, video, and in some cases even broadcast the event, and you're able to still sit back in your DJ booth or the DJ area and still be able to function and DJ at the same time.
Right.
That gives you more capability. Then, of course, if you properly network your equipment together, then it makes it even better.
Exactly. Because I honestly, I would, a lot of the younger DJs and individuals coming up, like I said, I know that's, and you and I have our conversations. That's my weakest point because of what we're talking about now. I'm so involved in everything, and but I've chosen to take a route of I do bring an assistant, and usually they're kind of playing crowd control. So if somebody's coming up requesting songs or whatnot, instead of them coming directly to me, I'm focusing on the music and mixing and making sure I'm playing like the must play songs and organizing of everything. And so they're taking the requests and giving it to me. And then of course I ask them to take pictures throughout the night. So that's kind of the role that they play, and then they help set up and tear down, of course. But the biggest thing is just that aspect of after the fact of having to edit after the event is just a daunting task for me.
Right.
So, pro tip in itself, before we even got to pro tip is, a thing to look into is iPads, because again of that editing function that it has in itself. So I actually probably be looking into that to, because I don't have the iPad Pro, but I have an iPad laying around, but I'll probably look into iPad Pro, and try it out.
And so that's one of the things, also a good thing about having, using iPads in general is that, like, for example, what you just said, I was able to eliminate that one piece just because I have an iPad where I have it set up to where a person can go in, make the request online, and as soon as it hits as soon as they submit it, it comes up on my iPad and lets me know I have a request. And so in most cases, that iPad that it comes up on is the one that I designate just for requests alone. So as they come in, I'm able to still DJ and then pull up the request on the iPad and have it queued. So when I switch over to the request, I can do so. So it kind of keeps it away from my primary DJ station, and it becomes a secondary just for requests only.
Right. Do you have do you use an app, or is that something that you just kind of put out like a scan QR code where they can send it to their email?
I designed it. I went in and built the page itself on my website.
Okay.
So a person can go in on my website and click on it. It allows them to put in 2 requests. So once they hit submit, or even if it's a YouTube link, they hit submit, and then once I get it, it pops up and it lets you know, because it's just that one iPad set up to where, well, technically what it is my email is open up on the iPad. So
Right.
once it comes in, it pops up and lets me know.
Pops up. Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha. That makes sense. I have a similar app. So I have a mobile app, and then they can log in. So it'll send me an email and also send me a text message. So, and it sends it to my work cell phone. So if I don't have my email up, I'll get that text message on my work phone, and I'll see what the request is. But nowadays, I hate asking people to download an app. Just one more thing for them to download on their phone. So I think apps are kind of starting to get a little bit overrated, and I think some people kind of get irritated with all these apps on their phone. So I give them the choice that they could download the app if they want to. So I do have that. But
and see, another thing is with that what I have designed, it makes it easier it's another way of marketing, because when the customers go to the website, they don't have to download the app. They just have to go to the website. Right. They're able to see me. But when they click on that link, it takes them to the request form. They fill it out and they submit it. So in some cases, what they see online will catch their attention, and then they'll go through and look at the stuff I have.
Other stuff, right?
So it's like again, it's like I'm using, I'm kind of like using every single thing I do as a marketing method, to where like when they go to build a request, okay, wow, they love to hear that. Oh wow, I don't have to go up there. I can just send it. And when they go in there, they see the pictures come up. They go, oh, let me take a look at what he got.
At this, and right?
Before you know it, I got another customer.
Exactly. So, we talked about Facebook and that. So we'll kind of go into that. What platforms do you use? I know I said I followed you on LinkedIn, so we know you use LinkedIn and Facebook. What all platforms do you use to actually target your audience or market your business and company?
The primary platform that I use is Google.
Okay.
Google is, if everyone doesn't know this, Google is the number one search engine in the world. So by having a Google business page, that's the number one priority. And that platform alone automatically kind of like takes all your social media and organizes it under that one platform. So then your Google, like someone Googles DC2DW, everything about me comes up because Google automatically like puts together a quick snapshot of who I am. And then by having a Google business page, is able to highlight the reviews and what customers think of me and so forth. So that is the number one platform. Is like, and I tell people, if you don't have a Google business page, and number one, it is free. Exactly. You're losing, because the Google business page is more important than a website.
Right.
A website makes it harder for someone to find you, but Google makes it extremely easy for someone to find you.
Right. So with this, while we're talking about Google, Google just recently switched from Google My Business to the map, Google Maps. How do you like that? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, to me, it's still the same. It's just the way they changed it. But like I said, if it's one of those things, if you're just marketing in one particular area, it's a great thing. But if you're trying to market beyond, for example, most of us, we try to market like at least 250 miles from our location.
Right.
So that sometimes can cause an issue, because your marketing is kind of like, as the farther away you get from your actual location, the more your marketing is going to kind of deteriorate from
right. Right.
So if the customer's not putting in the right keywords, then it makes it harder for them to find you.
Fine. Gotcha. Yep. So I know Google's been kind of playing with their whole how they operate, because it went to, I think they had, what is it, My Suite. Now it's like My Teams or something like that over the past year or so, 2 years. And now they, like I said, they got rid of My Business, and now they to where Google Maps controls it. Like you said, I guess there's some pros and cons. But like you said, if you don't have a Google business listing, definitely you're missing out. You're definitely missing out. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So like for me, after Google, Facebook is the next most important one. And see, like it also depends on your target audience. Like my
Okay.
target audience is on Facebook.
Okay.
So Facebook is my primary. After Facebook, then it's Instagram.
So let's get into Facebook. So what is your target audience? Because what I was told is and fact check me, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't do a lot of the research. I just I do little snippets. So I was told a lot of the older crowds are on Facebook and the younger crowds are on Instagram.
Correct.
And then a lot of your corporate are on LinkedIn. Would that be an accurate statement?
Accurate. That is
okay. Okay.
Because what you're looking
All
at
right.
is Facebook is my target audience are people that are kind of like between the age of 30, 35 and older.
Right.
And
right.
so Facebook is pretty much that location. Instagram is a little bit more of your younger crowd.
Right.
So I don't really do a lot on Instagram because I have it to where my Instagram is connected to my Facebook. So
correct.
What I post on Facebook automatically goes on Instagram. But I'm not really a big user of Instagram because my primary focus is Facebook. And Facebook has a lot more capability than some of the other platforms. Like
okay.
Instagram is more of a quick shot of doing something, I call like a small version of a storyboard.
Right.
Where Facebook, you can actually go into a bigger layout, a bigger storyboard of what you're trying to present, advertise, or even in some cases like connect to your customers. Because most of my customers, majority of them are on Facebook, and
right.
I become their friends on Facebook. And then as I highlight their special day, if it was their wedding, their birthday, it connects me to the people that were at their event. So it's like almost like you're passing out digital business cards by using pictures and video clips from their event.
Right. So so you said a lot of your clients are on Facebook and you have that age range. So you don't see a fall off because, right now you have a lot of younger couples that are getting married. But of course, maybe mom and dad is paying for the wedding. But who reaches out to you first? Is it mom and dad, or is it the couple, like the younger couple?
Most of the time, it's always the couple. Every now and then, I'll get parents of the couple.
Okay.
But majority of the time, it's the couple. But see, what happens most of the time is the younger couple catches me on Google.
Okay.
And then what the product is, like Google is like the front line. But then Facebook is the meat potatoes of what goes on behind the scenes,
right.
what goes on during the event. So by doing those two together, it allows people to see, like, for example, Google, the way Google rates you is the more good positive reviews you have, it automatically puts you at the top of the search engine.
Right.
Like some people will pay extra to be that ad that when you see that ad thing, that means that somebody's paying for them to be at the top.
Right.
Where with me, I don't have to pay anything.
Right.
So I let my reviews speak for my work, and that's a big thing. Is like a lot of DJs, especially in my area, they don't push reviews, and because they don't push reviews, the market, it makes it easy for me to stay on top of the market.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. So most of your clients come from Facebook, but you do see, I guess it's a funnel. Google, but Facebook, like you said, is the meat and potatoes.
Right.
Well, Google is the meat and potatoes. Facebook is the caveat because they funnel through Google, but then they go to your Facebook, they see your content, and it's like a confirmation because they see your product. So definitely get on Google and then have your content on Facebook. But you still say, do an Instagram, you would still say do an Instagram. Would that be safe?
Like even the big things that you do for your company, do a YouTube channel.
Okay.
A lot of DJs, and then it's just like what you'll see is you'll have DJs, they'll go out and video them doing an actual event, and sometimes those videos answer the customer's questions. Of like how much time does it take? What
Right.
they gotta see what goes on behind the scenes of a DJ, so they won't take us for granted and think
Right.
that we can set up in 5 minutes.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
so that helps us. Like it kind of helps us our customer relationships when customers are able to see exactly what we do.
Right. Right. So you hear that, DJs? Don't always do the videos of the hype of the party. Do some videos of the setup teardown. Do some
Right.
videos of how to and making of and all this, so you can show the intricate aspects of what we do, so it justifies why we charge what we charge, and
Right.
our, how hard our job is, because a lot of times they say, we're not worth what we want, and that's not the truth. Regardless of what you charge, I don't care if you charge $1 or 1,000. You're worth whatever you charge.
And that's one of the
So
things that's good about social media is if you're using it the right way, you're highlighting
right,
everything you just said. You're highlighting like, okay, why this piece of equipment is so expensive and all the work that goes on with this one piece of equipment. And then they'll
right,
start to see like, okay, that makes sense. So now I understand why I'm paying that $1,000 or that $1,
exactly. So I mean, you pretty much answered the next few questions, because my next few questions for you were, have you ever bought into the social media ads, and how do you feel about buying into social media ads? And then of course, the second part of that question is, the Instagram, the reels, that's the biggest thing now. Oh, you got to put out an Instagram reel. And I'm not going to lie. I bought into that and I started putting out a reel, once a week, and I just gave up on it. I was like, you know what?
Well, to me, it's like you have to find like when you in my case, I know my target audience and I know what they're looking for.
Right.
So like Instagram, that's more of your younger crowd. So
Right.
a lot of my target audience doesn't really do a lot of Instagram. They do
Right.
it, but they don't do it like as much as they do Facebook. So Facebook makes it easier. Instagram is more of a cell phone social media, which a lot of older
Correct.
people don't like because they can barely see it. I mean, I know I have a hard time looking at the screen.
Right.
So
Right.
I prefer Facebook because it's easier for me to operate versus trying to sit back on a cell phone or a tablet and trying to figure out how to put something together.
Right.
So, but as far as me, when I first started, I got caught up in that same scenario to where certain platforms you had to do this, you had to do that, and I evaluate what was the feedback that I was getting from these platforms, and the feedback wasn't good. It was more
Right.
so like, for example, I'll use the Wedding Wire, the Knots.
Okay.
Those platforms are primary advertisement platforms. They're not designed to promote you as a vendor or as a DJ. They're there to promote their business for advertisement.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
that was one of the things that I'm like, okay, why would I want to pay into something? And that's a key word, pay into something when I know I can do it for myself for free.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that I had a discussion with another DJ was, he said, oh, I'm the best DJ on Wedding Wire. Okay, but guess what? You're secondary. You're not your primary. Your brand comes second to Wedding Wire. So
Right.
to me,
Correct.
when your brand is able to stand on its own, then and I'm able to get just as many customers as a DJ on Wedding Wire, that speaks to volumes about my brand and my
Correct.
method of marketing. Well, what happens
Exactly.
is a lot of DJs are part-time DJs, so they don't have that time. I'm a full-time DJ, so I have the time to sit down and properly market myself. But those DJs that are part-time, they don't have that extra time. So what they do is they'll take the shortcut and they'll find someone to do the marketing for them, which time equals money.
Right.
Anytime you
Right.
have to pay somebody else for their time, that's money you're losing.
Correct. And I'm guilty of it. I'm definitely guilty of it. I bought into Wedding Wire. I bought into what's that other one?
The Knot.
Well, but what's the other one?
The one where you have to bid.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't even think of it. I mean, I thought it was the biggest scam ever.
Not Gig Masters. It was.
No, not Gig Salad and Gig Masters.
It
I
was.
can't even think of it because I thought it was the biggest scam ever. And I did one party from it, and so they charged me for the bid,
Mm-hmm.
and I accepted the bid, but it was so low of a, the it was just so low of a amount that I did it from. I mean, I literally, it was just not worth it. So yeah,
So
after that,
and we all been there. I mean, don't get like we're all vendors and DJs. We've all been there where we tested that water and we realized that it was just not. It was a waste because, like, I remember I was upset. I had been on it quite a few times, and only walked away with one event. And after that, I said, I'm done. So why am I paying these people just so I can say so people can see me? I can just do that on my own.
On your own, right?
So that's that was one of those things that I was like, yeah, that was a
wake up call.
It was a wake up call to where that let me know that my brand needs to be able to stand on its own.
Right.
And after that experience, I broke away from there and just start working on my own brand. And I mean, since then, it has really blown up to where I don't have to rely on like. You know what? Thumbtack. That's what it was.
Thumbtack. That's what it was.
Thumbtack.
Yep.
I was struggling because I was trying to remember what it was.
That's
Thumbtack.
it.
And see, with Thumbtack, it pretty much it was just a ripoff.
Right.
And so,
correct. Yep.
So those are the type of things that I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna stand on my own, and I'm gonna have my own platform versus be on something that's your secondary. I mean, because like it's kind of like you're going into a subunit of the web internet. You're going into a subunit of like, so in other words, they're going to go to Wedding Wire, and then Wedding Wire is going to promote everybody else. Where if they come straight to your brand, you're promoting yourself.
Right.
There's no competition when you have your own brand, your own platform.
Correct. You're right.
And that's one of the things I learned is like, hey, just go into Google, promote my Google platform, my brand, and get people to do reviews. And that's reviews, to me, reviews are more important than tips.
Correct.
Because reviews bring more customers.
Exactly.
Tips, they go in your pocket, and that's about it.
And that's it.
They don't more coverage. You can't do anything. But reviews bring more customers. One good review will bring you at least 5 to 10 more customers.
Exactly.
So that's how you want to expand yourself. And then the thing is, you get people to write reviews. And most of the time, like I just tell them, tell me what your experience was. After it's all said and done, normally when I send them the pictures, the video clips of what I've captured. I ask, let people know what did you think of my services? Was you happy? Was you content? And from there, they go back and they write the review on what took place. And so that's one of the biggest things is that you promote. Like, of course, now when you go to Wedding Wire does that for you,
right?
But guess what? A customer will have to go to Wedding Wire to see your work, to see your reviews. Now, if you have your own brand, when they go to Google you or Google keywords, you're automatically going to come up. They don't have to go into a subcategory just to see who you are.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So, you keep talking about branding. How do you actually brand yourself, your company? Is it, or do you just kind of, put your logo on your shirt? Like what? Go more into depth about how do you actually brand your company for us?
It's like, okay, in the digital world, everything is about the tag that you put on it.
Okay.
So like every time I put something out, I'll put my tag on it.
Okay.
That tag will make it easier for people to find me. So that kind of like, again, is just a way for, like, I call it, you're laying out cookie crumb or breadcrumbs for them to follow you back to the primary, which is who you are, what you're about, your services, your company. And so a brand to me is more so of highlighting and finding ways of pulling people in. And like what I do is I use my company name and my DJ name, but my company name always comes first.
Okay.
Something about at that portion, I'm still trying to understand why I went the route that I did with that one. Because I know a lot of people, they go with their DJ name.
Okay.
And they brand by their DJ name. But me, I brand myself as a company because as a DJ brand, you're limited just to DJing.
Right.
But as a company, you could expand every which way. You can cover uplighting. You can cover just so many different things than
Exactly.
just a DJ. Because when you brand yourself as a DJ, they're just going to look at you as a DJ.
DJ.
But
Exactly.
if you brand yourself as an entertainment company, now you have more capability. You have other outreaches to reach out to your customers. Now I'm okay. Now I have uplighting. I can highlight what I do for uplighting. I can highlight what I do for cold sparkler machines. I mean,
exactly.
These are different methods to where a DJ. Okay, that's another thing is the terminology is changing to where back in the days it was just DJ.
Right.
Now, if you're a legit business, you're an entertainment company. So just those terminologies make a big difference. I get phone calls. And so then you're kind of widening out your reach because now instead of me getting phone calls about just DJing, I'm getting phone calls for everything. I'm vendors, venues,
exactly.
So I'm getting a bigger reach. Where as a DJ, you're limiting your scope, you're limiting your capabilities in the digital world. So by throwing that word entertainment behind it, entertainment company, and that, don't get me wrong, when I first started, I just started off as DC2DW, but I'd have to throw that extra entertainment because after I saw the entertainment company means you do a large variety of services, then I said, okay, that's even better. So that brand, it speaks volumes of what you're capable of doing. And the way you brand yourself is like for example, if I have to type in your company name, and then when I type in your company name, like let's say for my area, Sand Hill.
Right.
You type in Sand Hill, there are so many different companies that are Sand Hill to where it makes it impossible for the customer to figure out which one is you. Okay. So by choosing a unique name, let's say DC2DW, which stands for Digital Connect to the Digital World, it was that's something that where it's easy because there's no one out there that has anything close to my name. So when you go in on Google and you Google DC2DW, everything that comes up is just me. There is no competition. So when I tell people when they choose their name, which is their brand, right? I always tell them up front, go Google it first.
Right.
See what comes up. If nothing comes up, that's the best name in the world.
Exactly.
But if you get a bunch of stuff that comes up, you don't want to you don't want your name to be competing. Just the name alone, not even the search. You have to get past the name in order to understand the services that you offer. Exactly. So that brand it's got to be strategically put together to make it easier for customers to find you. Right. So right now, like keywords, when you do your brand, your advertisement has to have all the right keywords mixed into it. And
I don't mean to cut you off, but we're kind of, I guess, kind of clarification, and we're kind of going into SEO, right? Search engine optimization. Right. Okay. So I just want to, for viewers out there, I just kind of want to make sure that they know that this is what we're talking about we're talking about search engine optimization, SEO. So if you don't know what that is, that ties your website or your landing page, your Google page, whatever you have, your Facebook, whatever it is. When they search for you, it's the keywords that ties your web presence to keywords. So when you punch in keywords, it ties you to those keywords. Right. And so that's what it's like a pyramid. Is you put your brand at the top of that pyramid, and how are you going to get people to get to your brand? And that's where you have to lead them
into that, and that's where you use the words, the keywords to lay it out for it.
Yes, sir.
And see, that's one of the things that I try not to make it complicated, because some people will get frustrated with it and shut down and won't mess with it. But that's just one of the things, is that if you was doing word of mouth, how would you tell a person about your business?
Correct.
And then you just translate that into a digital format, and then you put it together.
Exactly. It's and you know why people get scared of it? Because you have companies and you have other individuals out there that make it scary, and because they're trying to market it, so you pay them to do it. So when I was starting out, so I wish I had talked to you when I was creating my name, because oh man, if you Google Ultimate Entertainment without solutions, I can't tell you how much stuff comes up, and then you see all this other stuff, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I should have. But anyway, once you put Ultimate Entertainment Solutions, then I start standing out, of course, with all my pictures and stuff. So, but I saw another DJ over in Wilson, and one of his I guess it was a follower, had tagged him as Ultimate Entertainer, and I was just like, come on. So, but like you say, that was my fault. I didn't do enough research. I picked a common name. So, but that's on me. So I have to deal with that. But going back to the SEO, when I was starting out, they made it this scary process, and then they made it overcomplicated. Because, they were trying to sell me a company to do it for me. It's like, oh, well, if you don't do it right, and if you don't do this, it's not going to come up, and you're not going to be ranked, and you're going to be at the back page, and clients are not going to see you, this and that. And, I have a little bit backing in the background in computers. So I was just like, well, then I guess that's going to be a learning curve that I have to learn, because I can't rely on somebody to do something for me. Right. What happens if I go broke? I can't pay you. I said, so I'm going to have to know how to do it anyway, eventually. Right. I said, I'm not making any income right now, besides my main job. So at some point I need to know how this works, because you handicap yourself if you don't know how it works, if you rely on someone to always do it. So, I just started playing around with it. And it's funny because I actually got a call from Google yesterday. And it was like, oh, there was an issue with your Google listing and yada, yada, yada. And so I take the call every time, and I talk to them. And they say, are you the owner of Ultimate Entertainment Solutions? Why, yes, I am. What can I help you with? Well, you came up flagged that there was something wrong with it. Okay, well, let's go over it. And they asked me, am I still in Goldsboro? Yep, I'm still here. Are you still located here? Yep, I'm still there. Is your number still? Yep. Are your hours? Yep. Well, everything looks good. Let's see it. We'll pull you up, see if you come up. They pulled me up in the area. Yeah, you're coming up. Actually, you're coming up as number one. Well, I don't know why we flagged you. I couldn't tell you. But what?
Most of the time, what it is that they're trying to use your page to show how they can improve it.
Right.
And you, like you said, it's like they put in and they came on, dang, I can't show this because he's doing good. It's like,
exactly.
He's good. And so to me, when Google does that, it's just a matter of how they're trying to get picked. One of the things I've learned, and this is something funny. When I first retired from the military, I did my little 1-year contracting job with the government, and then I went into my own business.
Right.
And when I went into my own business, I went into the name of my company was DC2DW, Digital Connected Digital World, but it was 3 parts of it. There was one for website designing, one for fixing computers, and one was for DJing. So I had all 3 of these tied under one name. So I had all this stuff going on. Well, as the first year went by of me being in business, the computer repair became annoying because I realized that
I don't know that one.
As I was fixing computers, I forgot my keyword for that. While I was fixing on them, people were within the next week calling me back because they made the same mistakes. So there's a trend to where the same people that were having issues were calling back because they just didn't know how to use their computer.
Right.
So I said, okay, this is too time consuming and crazy. So I cut that one out.
Okay.
Then I went to website designing. Website designing I'm like, just like how you're talking about keywords and stuff like that. I'm trying to educate them. I'm trying to show them, and it became more time consuming, and it just wasn't worth the time nor the money or effort because some people are just not going to get it.
Correct.
And it was just like I was beating a dead horse trying to get them to explain to them what they were doing and what they needed to do. And then I would go through and do all this work for them. And then within the next month, they don't wait ahead and spend $700 something for someone to build it for them anyways. So then I said, okay, you know what? So then that's when I went to DJing. That's where DJ became my primary because it was more effective for my time and my energy. And then I was doing a more positive thing. So at those 3 levels, that first year, DJing made the cut, and the other 2 I cut loose and just focused on. That's why my business started in 2012.
Right.
But the DJing portion didn't become official until 2013.
Right.
Where I completely cut it loose and just focus on that part. But that's just one of those things, like I tell people, that having that computer background, like you were saying before, having that computer background, we're able to see it. The industry is designed to scare you.
Oh, yeah.
They want to make it complicated. They're trying to make it difficult. And I sit back and I tell people all the time, when I show people, they're like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, that's all you had to do.
Yeah.
Just put in these words and you're good. And the thing is, it's not rocket science. It's like when you think of DJ, you think of all the words that are associated with DJ.
Right.
And
correct.
You put those words, it's word association, and you put
correct.
it there.
Correct.
I mean, we've all played Taboo once upon a time.
Right.
So it's like you kind of go with word association and you make it work.
Exactly. And it even helps you out with wordplay when you go on the,
Right. I'm telling you now, I'm like a Taboo champion now.
Right. So, keeping in line with branding, do you do you brand any like your equipment or your clothing and stuff like that?
No, there's no reason to.
Okay.
I mean, and the reason why I say that is, when I first started, yes, I did have it to where I had my initials DC2DW on my polo shirt.
Right.
And it really didn't make a difference. I mean, I didn't really see how it had an impact on anything. And just like, just like I've heard, like when I heard different things about feedback, customers didn't like the idea of the DJ having the banners highlighting it was them, and it looked tacky, especially like if it's a formal event or wedding. Like you get away with certain things. Like me, on time I put out a banner if I'm doing a wedding expo and I'm advertising. That's different. Where
correct,
that's an advertising event. So that's what that's what expos are. You put out your banners. But when you're at somebody's wedding, that's just not inappropriate to do it that way. Now, some people what they'll do is on the back of their laptop. Like I did do that on the back of the laptop. I did have my information to where a person can come up and take a picture.
Right.
And that worked quite a bit, but it's just that I just, for some reason, when I got a new laptop, I didn't get that logo put back on it.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I think I have. So mainly what I did is a lot of my road cases, I have my initials on it. And I just did it so when I was partnering up with other DJs and we would do bigger events. So it just made it easier for me to identify. So once I did one or two, I just said, for uniformity, I'm going to do the rest of them. And then, of course, when I had equipment that we would all use together, we would do big events on the base. I printed out just a little small sticker so I would know it's mine. So when we go to pack up, so again, that's why I did it. And then, I just kind of stuck with it. Again, like you said, I don't think it's, I haven't seen a real necessity for it. Now the shirts with the branding, I'm on the fence for it. I even have the button ups, like your dress button ups with the
right.
ties. So now when I do weddings, I have a jacket on, so you don't see that logo on the chest. Now, of course, once it's reception time and it's less formal, I take off the jacket, I roll my sleeves up, a tie comes off, so it's less formal, but it's still formal because it's a button up, and then I undo the top button,
Right.
and then it still has that, so it's still a little bit more formal, but I did that again for just when I have formal but a little bit less formal events. Again, I don't think it really matters. I haven't had a client be like, "Oh man, that like you are." I mean, that is just so professional of you, and I don't think they care. I don't think they care.
I think they really care more about is your performance. It's just
Right.
like it's funny because the last birthday party I did, and it gave me chills. It gave me goosebumps because I was just gonna close it out, and me, I'm just thinking, okay, I got an older crowd,
Right.
so I played. Was it Lenny Williams? Because I Love You,
Mm-hmm.
and oh my gosh, the husband put on a show for his wife, which was the one that was the guest of honor for her birthday, and just capturing that on video, and just for them to have that moment, that meant more to them than the whole. I mean, and it's like when you're
right.
able to create those moments, that's what people remember. They don't care about those. It's the moments and what you do as a DJ. So
Right.
like coming in with a lot of flashy stuff, okay, yeah, but it's like you want them to focus more on your performance and
Correct.
not all the extra stuff that's distracting them.
Correct. So with that being said, do you feel your dress, like, so how do you dress, what's your take on dress for like weddings?
To me,
what's your normal attire?
and this is one of the things that I've seen is it's better to dress in black and white.
Okay.
Because most vendors are going to wear black and white for weddings.
Right.
Because like when you go to your caterer normally wears what? The black vest with the bow tie and the white shirt.
Correct.
Majority of the time, black and white is the most common colors for weddings to dress up. Now, every now and then there's a special color code, which the guest will let you know. But like me, I always wear the black bow tie or straight tie, white shirt, black vest. The only time that I change that is if there's a color, like to say, like I had an all white dress wedding, so I had the white vest with the white bow tie, and I mean that I try to blend into what they was asking for.
Right.
I have different color scheme bow ties and vests, but I keep it to where it's the same, to where I'm blending in with the rest of the team that's there to do the wedding.
Right.
See, my thing is that you trying to identify yourself as I am the person that's providing the service. I'm not trying to blend in to be a part of like the guest.
Right.
Because that's what happens a lot is that you'll have certain DJs, they'll dress up like they're one of the guests. And so they can't even figure out who you are because they think you're probably a guest.
Right.
So if you identify yourself as a person providing services, then it kind of like makes you stand out a little bit even more versus that you can easily get caught up that you're a guest.
Right. Correct. Yep. Absolutely. Because I know I've had several weddings, and they said, just wear jeans and a button-up shirt. That's what they requested. Just wear jeans and a button-up shirt, and I just don't feel comfortable at a wedding in jeans. I usually put on, I still wear my slacks, and I'll put on the button-up shirt. And then of course I have my tie. And then of course, once I won't do the jacket if it's a very,
right.
When I say it's not as formal wedding. We have a venue out here that's really not a real formal, and they do a lot of the smaller macro weddings.
Right.
And most of them, they come in like a polo shirt, or they come in just like a plaid button-up shirt and cowboy hats and stuff. So, but for me, I just as being a vendor, I just don't feel comfortable wearing jeans, providing service. So, and a lot of times they're coming, oh, you didn't have to wear it. I said, yeah, I know. But, it's just kind of my where I stand on that. So
See, the biggest piece is presentation. Is that
right,
you're there to provide a service, but guess what? You're also marketing yourself because
correct,
somebody's going to be watching you and looking at how you operate. And just because you wear the appropriate things makes it even more interesting in you versus if you come in there wearing jeans and Timberlands
correct,
at a wedding. Even though the guests, even though the bride and groom said it was okay, the guests are going to look at you differently.
correct, correct. So I know earlier you had kind of mentioned this, and I meant to touch on this earlier, and I forgot. You had talked about a digital business card. Do you still use traditional business cards, or do you use a digital business card now?
I have both. I have my
Okay.
digital business card and then my hard copy. And then the hard copy is like, right. I think that once I run out of those,
Right.
Because you still, again, your older crowd prefer to have hard copy.
Correct.
Digital. The younger crowd is digital. So
correct.
I thought about it because this has came up a lot here within the last 2 weeks, where I've been giving out a lot more business card, or people are having a higher request for it. So when I pull that digital card, oh no, that's too complicated for me. Can you just give me a card? And I've learned that, okay, well, you know what? I'll probably have to do both because now I do have a digital one, but it doesn't hurt to have a hard copy because a lot of older people who don't like technology or like using technology, and then of course they put that scared out there now to where if you scan the wrong QR code, the QR code or QRF code, however you want to call it, then someone can hack your information, your system, stuff like that. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just go back to the old school way of doing my business cards.
Correct.
And it's so funny that you said it because I just recently made that decision to order some more business cards.
Right. Yeah. Same. And that's why I asked. So I have both too. I have the digital and I have my standard, just old school business cards. Mm-hmm. And it's like you said, the younger crowd does not want that card anymore. They don't want it. They'll get it. They'll take a picture of it, and then they're like, "Here you go." And I'm like, "No, you take it. That's yours." They're like, "No, I don't want it. I'm going to lose it." Right. Or they'll like that digital card. They'll tap it with their phone. They'll scan the QR, and then they'll start following you, liking it, whatever whatever. And even some of when I say younger crowd, this is your 20 to 30. I've had around 30, 32, 33. 35 max. I think that's the cutoff is that 35. 35, they start wanting that business card, the hard copy. I did a big prom and I mean, it was 50-50 and I was so glad I had both because when I did that prom, I mean, it was crazy. Half wanted the digital, half wanted the card. And I was doing both. So, but yeah, I would highly suggest for DJs to have both. It's just it's a good tool. And then let's say you give your last one out and your only option is to have the digital, you can always help the older with it, so you can scan it and it comes up and then you can take a screenshot for them so they have it in their pictures and let them know it's like, hey, I gave my last hard copy out. But what I can do is scan it for you, and so you can kind of compromise and help them out as much as you can. So, but yeah, I would definitely advise to do both. They're not that expensive either. I think there's like 3 or 4 companies out that do the digital. I have Dot. I don't know which one do you have?
I normally go through. What you talking about? The digital one?
Right.
I have the what is the name of that darn thing? It's called. It begins with L. I know that much.
L. Okay.
Link. I think it's Link.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's the link
digital
card.
Like I said, I know there's like 3 or 4 companies out now.
Because you can go in, let me see, I can just click on the shortcut real quick and it'll tell me which one I have. Because you can go in and you can pretty much, again, that digital card allows you to, like with mine, the one I have, it allows you to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like upload your social media.
It allows you to like control what the customer sees.
Right.
And that right there is the best thing in the world because I went in and designed my whole program on that.
Correct. See, I know Dot. You can upload like your links. It's links to your social, so you can put your email, your Facebook, Twitter, um, Twitch, all that. Which while you're looking at that, do you ever see yourself getting on Twitch and DJing or doing anything?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have yet to even look at that platform.
Right.
And I don't know because I haven't even looked at it, so I probably need to take a look because I keep hearing it, but I haven't really had time to really look into it and see because what exactly is it? I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what it is.
So Twitch is a streaming platform. It generally got it was created for a lot of gamers. A lot of gamers are on it, but now there's all kind of different individuals on it. There's gamers, you got DJs, you have podcasts, you have all kind of different creators on there now. It's actually a pretty resourceful platform.
Okay.
I know a DJ. He's up close to Charlotte. He has over 100K followers now. Not, excuse me, 100K. He has over 1,000 followers now. That he gets on there. I think it's every Thursday, I believe. But I know he said he's gonna try to go every day, every night at 7 p.m. But he gets on there and he DJs. You can't record because of copyright, but you can go live and DJ and whatnot. And then, just have people follow you. And then, of course, you can just put your podcast on there. And then, it's just another platform for individuals to kind of to see you. I've been thinking about going on it. I have an account. I just have yet to put any content on it. But it is a powerful platform that a lot of people are on. I think it's just another way to get yourself out there and just kind of be known, especially if you're a DJ that wants to be out there, like, far as known as your DJ skills. If you want to be that superstar DJ, I think that's a good platform to be on.
Yeah, because I keep hearing about it, but I just never really taken time to look at it because
right.
When the first time I heard about it, it was a real popular DJ out of Chicago, and she was on there, and I was like, okay, I got to check this out because she goes on there and she performs a lot, and she's one of the popular, well-known skate DJs. And the reason why I like to go, like, I want to listen to her, is because most of the good skate music comes out of Chicago, Atlanta. Some of the stuff you got in Ohio. It's a lot of underground. Technically, skate music is considered underground music. So as a skate DJ, it gives me a chance to see. So she has a platform on there as well. But I just never really looked at it. Really never looked at it because I know once upon a time when I first started off my company, I did have a digital radio station. And after 2 years of paying for it, it really didn't make a difference. Right. It didn't really have a impact for me because it was more so me live streaming or putting together recordings of what I did. And I mean, I got some good hits from it. And even when before Facebook started getting real strict, I was doing it on Facebook. But I heard that with Twitch, it allows you to do stuff like you said, but it won't let you record it.
So you can record it, but when you record it, that's when you start to get those copyright infringements. So if you just go live and don't record it, then you should be fine. And people come on live and watch you. But and another platform that others are using, of course, is TikTok. I don't think TikTok. I don't think I ever get on TikTok. I think if I do get on one platform, it'd be Twitch. But TikTok is, of course, your younger crowd, more of your younger crowd, in my opinion. But I guess it's for creators. And if I do get on TikTok, it might be if I did like a custom mashup or something, and then I just wanted to show it or something, maybe. But I think those are what I see those platforms for. And
that's another thing is you have to be careful on how far you're willing to expand yourself because for every platform you add onto your plate, that's just one more platform that you have to work with. Like when Facebook combined Instagram to make it easy for me. That's the only reason why Instagram exists is because they allow you to connect the two together.
Right.
If it
Right.
wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be on Instagram either right now, because
Right.
my primary focus is that you try to stay. You want a presence on most of them, but you want to try to stay focused at which ones are going to bring you the major. Like you're like, if you're going fishing, you're not going to want to go fishing in a pond because you know you're going to be limited. But if you go
Right.
fishing in the ocean or a lake, because like I said, Facebook, Google, those are considered like oceans of information on the social media platforms.
Right.
Like Twitch, I haven't really. I've heard it from DJs, but I have never heard it from the customer.
Right.
So that was
Right.
one of the things that really, like, it's not a big presence out there in the customer, like in your target customers, but I do hear it within the vendors.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It might be a platform for other DJs to get exposed to other DJs and maybe
Right.
other vendors, maybe to get you referred for other DJs. And again, like I said, maybe a stepping platform to the fame. So now,
Right.
like I said, you start to getting that superstar status, if that's what you're looking for as
Right.
it being a DJ. So, which is not a bad thing if that's what you're looking
Right.
for.
And see,
Definitely not
some
a bad
people
thing.
like that superstar status, and that's their brand. That's how they want
Right.
to brand themselves.
Right.
So,
Exactly. So, as we wrap this up, is there anything that you would, far as branding and marketing, if you could do over, is there anything that you would do over?
well, it was a learning process across the board from beginning to end.
Right.
And the only thing I would say that I would do different, I would have probably never got involved with Thumbtack, Wedding Wire, and the Knot. I mean, those were the biggest dead end, like waste of money, waste of time scenarios that it was just like, it just takes away from your brand.
Right.
It redirects people to go to another brand just to see you. So besides that, that's really the only thing I would do differently is I would just never would touch base with those platforms.
Okay. So, I kind of gave you a warning, in our meeting, and I'm gonna put you on a hot seat. So one of the biggest thing that I want to do, is kind of be real. And this is not, this is at no intentions to disrespect any customer, client, or any vendor or anything, but this is just to kind of give a real picture of what the industry and what we deal with. So, in our industry, we deal with things that we typically have to hold in sometimes, and that really frustrates us, that really pokes at us, and sometimes we just kind of have to swallow it and kind of put that smile on our face and just kind of keep going on about our way, right? And we never speak of it. But, to kind of start changing that, to bring light to that, we have to at some point talk about it. So what I want to do is bring a section called Hot Seat. And this is where I'm going to put all my guests in the hot seat. And I'm going to ask them to speak on that. So my question to you is, what is that one thing that a client or vendor, and please go into a little detail on it, that does that really ticks you, that just sets you off, that you just kind of, you put that smile on, but it really just sets you off inside?
Lack of information, lack of knowing what it is, and then just not taking. And then time man. The biggest piece for me is always time management. Is the customer not taking the appropriate time to properly lay out their event, and that is the key to a successful event. Is when a customer, and the thing is, you'll know as a DJ or as a vendor, you'll know after you've been in this business for so long, you'll know when there's going to be hiccups with this event, and it always reflects on that customer. And what customers will do, I get it, is that they're extremely busy. They work full-time jobs. They got all kinds of additional things after that job. I get it. But if you're going to take time to do it right, kind of throw some little extra time to understand what it is that you're trying to do. Take a little more time to develop that vision, because like when you ask a customer what is it that you want and they can't tell you, that makes your job harder as a DJ. So for me, it's always time management. Is if I ask you for something 14 days prior and you give it to me the day before or the day of, how do you expect me to be successful? You just set me up for failure. So if someone spells it out to you, take the time, manage your time to give it to them in a timely manner. That's all. I mean, that's the biggest thing is if every vendor got what they asked for in a timely manner in the time that they asked for it, the event will go a lot smoother. But because our customers are procrastinators, not all, but most of them are procrastinators, they wait to the last minute and then they rush through it, not knowing that this is critical information for us. So when we get it, we're trying to figure it out and then goes from there. Or better yet, if we ask for it in a format, if we provide the proper forms in a format, and then they give you some chicken scratch on a piece of paper from a restaurant, you're looking at, okay, you give me this, so you don't really think highly of your event. And so that's what I say, the effort that you put into it is the effort that you're going to get out of it. And if customers would just take a little more time to develop the vision and the characteristics of what it is they want, it'll make our jobs a lot easier. So then we're not jumping through hoops. We're not working till 2:00 in the morning to figure it out because they gave it to us the last minute. It's like that is my overall pet peeve in the last 10 years I've been in business is customers just not doing things in a timely manner.
Absolutely.
Providing you what you need, not doing things in a timely manner, or just halfway doing things.
Absolutely. So, pro tip of the day. I'm going to give the pro tip of the day for that one. He already gave us one pro tip, and I'm going to give you another one to speak on the hot seat topic. So what I have instilled in my company, and I'm glad every topic he just talked about, we all deal with that. Mm-hmm. What I have put in my contract, if I do not get my forms in the time that I had set forward. So I talked to a planning event coordinator and she asked me to move mine 7 days ahead of time because I was 14 days due before the event. And she actually asked me to move it 7 days because usually typically the event coordinators are day of coordinators are 14 days. So she asked me to take that in consideration to move it 21 days. So what I tell my clients is I need my forms 21 days before the event. You do not have to be 100% complete, but you need to be 90% complete. At 14 days before the event, I need you at least 93%. At 7 days, I need you at 100% because at that 7-day mark, you cannot make any changes without getting with me. If I don't get it 21 days before the event, there is a $200 rush fee that I will be charging you, and you will see on your account that you sign when you sign that contract. So please read your contract because, like he said, I am now staying up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So now my time is added on. So you're adding extra time to my contract that I have to account for. It is not a punishment. I am just now charging you for my extra time. So you agreeing to now me charging you extra time for me rushing, planning your event. And I also put in there that if I don't get all that information, I am not held liable for any incidents that are mishaps at your event. That is your sole responsibility. You take ownership of that now. So you cannot come for me if there's any mishaps of your event. You cannot leave me a bad review if there's anything that is missed in your event. You sign that contract. Pro tip of the day. Again, another thing, like you said, with forms, I have an online event planner. Everything is filled out. You can fill it out online from your phone, a tablet, computer. That way I don't have to try to read, like you said, chicken scratch. And then I have, again, like I said, an assistant who helps out. So they can help and assist with that. Oftentimes I get it and they'll send it to me on a piece of paper or they'll send it to me in an email. I get it. But here lately, I've been saying, unfortunately, I cannot accept that. That needs to be transcribed into that online event planner. That's what that online event planner is for. It is structured so I ensure that I have all the information that I need, and every question is there. And if it's not answered, I can see it's not answered. And it ensures that I don't have to flip through a million emails to try to find an answer. I've had it where clients have sent me several different answers from different emails, and I didn't even catch that. Like I had to go through and research, and I was getting emails from that same client from 4 different emails, like 4 totally separate emails. And then they introduced a day of coordinator that started, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So, had they just used that event planner, all that information would have been in a central location. Right. So, pro tip of the day, if you have forms, use your forms and value your time. But ladies and gentlemen, again, Mario, I would like to thank you for coming on today and talking with us. You gave us a lot of gold gems. And, again, so please give us a plug. Let us know your information, where we can find you one more time.
Well, real quick, like I said, for me, if you actually go in and Google DC2DW, all my information will come up. That's just my quick tag. That makes it easy for you to find me. But then also my phone number is 910-261-1518. And you can reach me anytime. Normally, if I'm not DJing, I'll answer the phone. But if for some reason I don't answer, then I'll probably send a text message saying that I'm DJing.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mario Hardy of DC2DW out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I guarantee you, if you reach out to him and you book him, you will not be disappointed. Look at his reviews. I mean, he has hundreds of them that are all 5 stars. Again, thank you for coming out. Again, mentor, you take me under your wing. You've taught me a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. And until next time, we'll definitely have you on. We'll talk about some more topics. And then, of course, we'll definitely connect offline like we always do.
All right.
You've been listening to the Ultimate Entertainment Solutions Show. If you enjoyed our show, be sure to tell a friend. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss a show. See you next time.